Is this how the Warriors are going to look next season? Hey, do you want to win a PS5 with Madden NFL 21 and NBA 2K21? We'll be announcing the winner as soon as they come out, so be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. Before we start the video, we want to mention that we're going to be sharing some very exclusive information, so make sure you guys watch the video all the way until the end because we may have just found where Giannis will be finishing off the rest of his NBA career. Giannis Antetokounmpo had another poor postseason run with the Milwaukee Bucks. The top-seeded team in the East was eliminated in just the second round. Additionally, Giannis struggled throughout the series against the Miami Heat's defense. The Greek Freak won his second MVP in a row, which surrounded itself with a lot of controversy due to the poor postseason he and his team performed. Most NBA fans wanted and expected LeBron to win it, but as we all know, Giannis ended up pulling through and the critics thought that he deserved it fair and square due to his regular season performance. But it seems like his journey as a Bucks player is approaching its end. There is always a chance Giannis might walk out in the 2021 free agency. For Milwaukee, letting a superstar go without a return could mean trouble. There are multiple rumors saying he wants out, and there's just too much information surrounding his trade, so arguing it's false and it's not going to happen is nonsense. It's the most talked about trade in the 2020 offseason so far due to the super team the Warriors could once again attain in their dynasty. Just imagine this. NBA fans were heated when KD had joined the Warriors. Imagine the controversy Giannis and the Warriors would receive once this trade happens. The Golden State Warriors are a definite destination for the Greek Freak. The Warriors would have the perfect system for Giannis to thrive in. Just imagine needing to block the paint for Giannis not to drive while some of the best three-point shooters in NBA history are sitting behind the perimeter. That is going to be a nightmare for teams getting in their way of a championship. If players want to guard up more on Curry and Thompson, Giannis will simply have more lanes to drive to the bucket. The system would be insane. He will be surrounded by amazing shooters and will therefore have more lanes to drive to the bucket. The Warriors themselves are coming off a catastrophic season. They finished dead last in the league, but it awarded them the number 2 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Their top 2 stars, Steph and Klay, were also out due to injuries. In their absence, it was too much for Draymond Green to carry the team to a respectable record. As a result, the team tanked. They will be hoping for better results next season, and with that being said, what better addition to their team than the Greek Freak himself? The Warriors are one of the few teams that have the pieces to trade for Giannis. They will have enough cap space to sign Giannis to a bigger deal once his contract expires. The best trade for both the teams would be Giannis in exchange for Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, Eric Paschall, Marquise Chris, Kai Bowman, and their 2020 first-round draft pick if needed. This trade could be fair for both the teams and they won't have to pay too much luxury tax. Furthermore, the Bucks can avoid going into an immediate rebuilding phase with Green and Middleton as the best players. If the Bucks disagree and ask for more, you can always put Klay into the discussion, but the Warriors would not want to involve splitting the Splash Bros apart as it would somewhat ruin the chemistry throughout the team. If the Golden State Warriors will ever be able to acquire Giannis, it'll have to be this offseason. Now, what could a trade package look like including Giannis? For the second consecutive season, the Bucks finished the year with the best record in the Eastern Conference but were jettisoned from the postseason before reaching the NBA Finals. This year's loss to the Miami Heat in the conference, then they must trade him. They don't want him to become a free agent next season and leave the Bucks behind with nothing to gain. The more they wait, the more his value decreases. Golden State has been identified as the team willing to break the bank to sign the reigning MVP. Now, there is no way the Warriors can land Giannis without parting ways with a number of significant assets. They will pretty much have to commit their future to Antetokounmpo, something they should be more than willing to do if given the opportunity. I mean, they do want to still be a dynasty. The only thing stopping them is injuries, which is something they can avoid. The first trade proposal is sort of a best-case scenario for the Dubs. They part ways with Andrew Wiggins, who arrived in February as part of the D'Angelo Russell deal. This absolutely works in favor of the Warriors because they won't need to break up their core. They will, however, need to send over their 2020 first-round pick and their 2021 first-round pick. The Warriors will be saying goodbye to the possibility of acquiring a young and promising player in the draft over the next 2 years, which shouldn't be a problem. Curry and Thompson have many years ahead of them and aren't aging as much as someone like LeBron, who only has a few years ahead of him. For Milwaukee, this will be the most ideal package in terms of revamping their roster, something that they will need to do with Giannis out of the picture. At just 25, Wiggins still has some star potential left, and he could be a very good player for Milwaukee over the next few years. They will also have an opportunity to select 2 top prospects in the next 2 drafts, something the team can build upon for the future. If this is something the Bucks are not willing to do, they can always ask for Klay Thompson. Now, whenever Klay Thompson is mentioned in a trade proposal, Warriors fans are not a big admirer of this. They don't want the Splash Bros to split up, but if Giannis is included in the picture, I don't necessarily know how I would feel about that if I was a Warriors fan myself. Klay Thompson has emerged as the biggest piece that might need to be moved in a potential Giannis trade. Breaking up the Splash Brothers, the very core of the Warriors dynasty, is not ideal for the Dubs. However, with the prize at stake, it's worth it. After all, there's no denying that Giannis is a better player than Thompson will ever be. Rookie Eric Paschall will need to be thrown in the mix, and so will the projected first overall pick of the 2020 draft. For the Bucks, a trio of Thompson, Chris Middleton, and Eric Bledsoe still remains to be a formidable one. Even if they opt to part ways with Middleton or Bledsoe, they still have a very promising stud in Paschall. Add in the first overall pick that is most likely going to be James Wiseman, and the Bucks have just guaranteed a solid future without Giannis. The best deal Golden State can offer Milwaukee without having to give up Thompson would probably need to involve both Wiggins and Draymond Green. Green is another key piece in the Dubs championship sides, but it could be argued that Thompson provides more value than Green. The first round pick for 2020 is once again on the table. There is probably no scenario that the Bucks will part ways with Giannis Antetokounmpo without getting this in return, while Paschall is going to be added in to sweeten the pot. Milwaukee gets two great players in Wiggins and Green, and similar to the second scenario, they won't necessarily need to do a full revamp with these two on their side. The projected first overall pick gives them something to build on in years to come, with Green, Middleton, Bledsoe, and Brook Lopez all aged 28 or above. The Golden State Warriors have officially acquired the number 2 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. This means that the Golden State Warriors will either draft a top prospect to join their ranks or ship off that pick for a potential superstar player like Giannis, as we said earlier. Either way, the Warriors will be building a super team once again. If they keep the prospect, they will be building for the immediate future, which is very unlikely. If they happen to trade the pick away for a current superstar such as Giannis, they will be right in the mix as title favorites once again. Their best players in Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson are only getting older by the years, and their intention should be to win now, not later. There have been rumblings earlier this season about Giannis Antetokounmpo and how he fits in the Golden State Warriors system, as we said earlier. Truly, he's a perfect fit because he has the size to defend multiple positions and a versatile offensive game to complement Steph and Klay. Did we forget to mention that he's the best player in the NBA right now and is a 2-time MVP? The goal he'd ring next season. Giannis is the greatest physical specimen in the game right now and affects the game both offensively and defensively. He is way too valuable to not be winning titles, and the Warriors have the best chance to get him. The Bucks have a great team built around him, but they lack some real talent similar to the level of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. Giannis will be the lockdown defender for the Warriors, an imposing inside force, and the player that runs the break or finishes on the break as well. Giannis would be the final piece of a big three that would give the Warriors at least 2 NBA championships. They would be the most unstoppable team in NBA history. Hence the Bucks not doing well in the NBA playoffs. Giannis is simply way too valuable to not be playing in the NBA Finals, especially in today's NBA where a player his size can dominate every position. The Bucks have been trying to do whatever they can to keep Giannis happy on the team and to keep the franchise competitive. They have signed his brother to join the team even though he hardly plays, and also surrounded him with as much talent as possible. However, the Bucks do not have as much talent as some of the other teams in the league, such as the Lakers and even the Warriors. If Giannis makes it clear he wants out, the Bucks need to find the best trade package to keep them competitive now and in the future. Andrew Wiggins has not had the career many thought he would, although he is only 25 years old and had a strong season. He is averaging 21.8 PPG and 5.1 RPG this year on 45.7% shooting, and his potential is clear to see. Wiggins can be a building block for the Bucks alongside the extremely valuable second pick in the draft. These two players mean an excellent rebuild without their star, while Draymond Green could be a culture-building player who can even be traded later on. Eric Paschall also had a surprisingly good year while playing the forward position. Milwaukee might value him as a role player or someone who can reach a higher level if given enough playing time. He's 23 years old, so playing time will only do him good at this stage in his career. Overall, the Warriors should cash in on Giannis Antetokounmpo. It might be tempting to use the pick to draft LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards, but they should throw everything on the table to pair Giannis Antetokounmpo with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson to win some more NBA titles. The Bucks are a smart enough franchise to know when their best player is unhappy or frustrated, so acquiring the likes of LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards is the way to go. The Greek Freak, a trade that could potentially reshape the league. Warriors fans, let us know who you'll be willing to give up in this offseason for Giannis in the comment section down below. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.